NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, that Obama has called for and signed stipulates that even American citizens can now be targeted by the military, picked up, and imprisoned.
China's coronavirus outbreak epicenter took a video of body bags piled inside a funeral home van.
我数一下啊，时代，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、有8。
This month, Chinese funeral associations and several funeral companies are asking for help. A funeral home staff member told the Economic Observer that body bags and other supplies are in short supply. Sources in the industry say many textile factories in China have been given special orders by the government. But what are they producing? You might think it's more face masks and protective suits to combat the virus, but it's not. Instead, the factories are now producing body bags. One said they're producing 1 million of them. This raises questions about how serious the situation really is.
Citizens are questioning China's anti-epidemic team, which doesn't include any epidemic prevention experts.
This is when the numbers erupt, with 282 cases reported from 4 countries. The next day, 314 cases are confirmed.
There is now a question of whether coronavirus has a longer incubation period than previously believed. Chinese media now reports that one patient was diagnosed 42 days after she returned home from Wuhan, while a new study led by China's top coronavirus experts found the virus incubation period could be as long as 24 days. But U.S. experts remain skeptical.
Today, it's the 49. The 24 hours work, they burn the dead body. Every day is 1,200. They work at, more than 17 days. Only Wuhan, but now is in the megapolis. It's currently all of China is 250 million people. How many people really get confirmed case? And this outbreak, this is the outbreak in half of China, 200 million people. So I get inside information is the truth is 1.5 million people. Is not only emotion, is the confirmed case, and that's the people now is the burned body more than 50,000, not 30,000 to the now.
Videos claiming to come from funeral homes in Hubei province, where Wuhan is located, are circulating on social media. The one Yun works for used to cremate 30 bodies per day, but now they need 100 body bags on a daily basis. Yun says the dead bodies are contagious.
The symptoms caused by coronavirus are common during flu season and can be nearly impossible to protect against.
The coronavirus could infect the nervous system, which then could cause seizures.
Centers for Disease Control says the U.S. should be prepared to see more cases of the virus.
Themselves are being pushed out of buildings yesterday. People kicking and screaming as the thought police, the modern-day concentration camp gulags, are in the secret police in China are rounding people up in the moving vans, throwing them in jail. Now, what if you don't have the infection? The Chinese government has now threatened the death penalty to anybody that does not admit that they potentially may or may not have exposure to the virus. And now this quarantines coming to the United States of America and being set up now.
All right, I'm not trying to sound like some fearmonger or something like that along those lines, but the reason why I chose that title is just the beginning of the end. I don't know if you guys can relate back to a site by the name of theeagle.com, where they say the American population dramatically decreased by 200+ million people by the year 2025. The reason why I bring up deagle.com because 2025 is not too far away, and people are not just going to die in the year 2025 and be that dramatically drop of population. You're going to have to slowly build up to that. And I think with this virus, from how bad it looks over there in China, I think this is the way they can do it, because with the virus, you can do quarantines. When you do quarantines, obviously there's not going to be people out there working. The farmlands, the distribution of goods are not going to be circulated throughout the country. The economy, the stock market, and all that stuff could crash and stuff along those lines. And there can be a large death toll from the virus itself, and in the pandemic from food shortages and stuff and all those lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about if you guys don't know what the deagle.com is. And as far as the body bags go in China, how they're saying they're running out of body bags, but there's only 1,500 deaths, but these mortuaries said they're running out of body bags. That raises red flags in my head. And on top of that, they told one manufacturer, out of all their manufacturers, they told one of them to build 1 million body bags. They want 1 million body bags manufactured because I'm guessing they're expecting a lot more people to die from this virus, or a lot of people have already died from this virus. Now the billionaire, the Chinese business billionaire, he's exiled from China, so he's banned from going in there. But we all know billionaires are well connected. They have informant, they have insiders, they have whatever, because they have their resources are unlimited. So I'm pretty sure when he says that he has an insider that says that China has 1.5 million cases of the coronavirus, and there's 50,000+ people dead in China, I would think that he's pretty much telling the truth. He has no reason to lie, you know. And he said that they're burning bodies outside of Wuhan. Now, if there is a quarantine going on and everybody's in their house and nobody can come out, why is there so much activity outside of Wuhan with burning of bodies? Now, you guys can see from the satellite images that they're burning bodies because they're burning organic material. So what organic material are they burning? Obviously it's going to be bodies. There's a virus out there. So that's what everybody's speculating on. If this billionaire is saying all this stuff, I'm going to take it as being true, because I know the news don't really spit the truth to us. So I'm going to go ahead and stick to what he's saying. I'm trusting him and not the news networks. Now it says the mortuary is burning bodies all day. From the footage, as you've seen from the footage, they were burning bodies. Clearly they said 30 bodies, now they're burning up to 100 bodies, and the mortuaries are filled with smoke. So that means they're telling the truth in that news footage, because it's smoky in there. That means they're burning bodies all day long. Now, as far as the Kobe Bryant footage that I put in there, I just thought it was, my friend of mine told me to decode that video. I decoded it. I'll be putting that in a different video. But yeah, he touched on the GPS screen. It just rang the bell in my head that map looked completely familiar. And then I went to say, you know, let me type in Wuhan. I typed in Wuhan map, and then yeah, they have very similarities. Obviously the one from the commercial is like artsy and stuff like that along those lines, but it has a river on the side, the roads match up, that little dip on the highway where his hand touches is where the Wuhan is, where the outbreak broke out. So I just decided to put that in the video. It could be something, it could be nothing, but you guys check it out and tell me what you think. Now the man in the elevator who was walking off and he ran off and he died in the parking garage. Dr. Lee said something about the upper respiratory virus back in December, and the Chinese government just kind of swept it under the rug like he was talking nonsense or whatnot there. But I believe, in my opinion, that they knew that there was something coming along with that virus. I think they all had this stuff planned out. This all sounds premeditated in my opinion. But so Lee knew about the virus in December 2019. The outbreak, then the virus outbreaks in January. I mean, that has more time to spread. All the while the United States is over here doing some fake training with this, it's called the Event 201 Global Pandemic Exercise they were doing back in October of 2019 on some kind of global pandemic, on a virus outbreak. I mean, is this all like, this like, doesn't make sense. So we knew about it in October. Supposedly we were just doing fake pandemic studies around here, and then like these fake board meetings. I'll put images of that 201 Global Pandemic Exercise up here as I speak about it. And then the Chinese Dr. Lee exposed it in December, and it breaks out in China in January. And I hear rumors about China try smuggling this virus from Canada. Okay, and our intelligence agency is one of the best in the world, so we know what's going on. I don't care what they tell us on the news. We know exactly what's going on, and that's why they're building these quarantine camps out here in the United States, outside these airports and military bases. Now the cops, there's another thing here. So I see images of cops just rounding random people out, just rounding them off the roads and throwing them in the vans and stuff along those lines. That's kind of eerie to me, in my opinion. You got cops in these cheap ass masks are rounding up people in the streets with, like, I guess gloves on. I guess some have gloves, some don't have gloves on, and not catching the virus. But I have information here telling me that 1,700 medical doctors are infected with the coronavirus, and we all know medical doctors deal with viruses and infections all day, every day when they go to work, so they know how to properly protect themselves from these viruses. So you mean to tell me that these cops can run out there in the streets and just round up random people and not catch the virus? Yeah, that sounds like bullcrap to me. I think they're using this virus for an excuse to round up people that they believe to be dissidents to the China communist regime. Whoever like has those low social credit scores or stuff along those lines, they can probably deem them as people that are a threat to them, people who speak out against them online. Because we all know that guy who did the footage of the body bags, they released him from jail. And then because he had a big uprising on the internet, and then all of a sudden he stopped posting. He's nowhere to be found. A lot of these whistleblowers out there are coming up missing. So I'm thinking they're using this quarantine to round up people that they deem militant against their agenda. And I think they're probably gonna do the same thing like that over here in the United States. Now, CDC telling us to prepare now, so I would advise you guys to prepare. I mean, I'm not the last minute guy. I've always been prepared. I like preparing for everything. I don't care. I try to see the worst case scenario for when I'm preparing. I don't think small time, I think big time. So what do I need to do to better protect myself? If you guys are watching my content here on Conspiracy Network, you can check out my other YouTube channel where I do like reviews and gear reviews and stuff along that line. It's called Eclipse Entertainment Presents. I put it on the screen so you guys can check it out if you didn't catch it the last time. Now, I'm in Florida, and people, I don't understand people, they know there's a hurricane coming to Florida every year, and for some reason, they forget to prepare. And then when it's time to prepare, it's like the last minute when hurricane's already about to hit land, and they want to sit up there and whine about how they don't have their goods, and this store have this, or people buying this, or people raising the price. You wouldn't have to worry about people raising price on goods if you had already had your stuff prepared. You had a whole year, you knew a hurricane was coming a year in advance. They always come here. So let's not be that last minute person. Let's go ahead and get the things we need now to better protect our family from whatever this virus can bring to our doorstep. Now, I got some notes here. It says you can catch this virus, and you know, when you catch viruses, you typically won't catch that virus again for a very long time because your body's built immunity to this virus. And now they say with the coronavirus, on the other hand, you can catch this virus and you can get it again. As crazy as it may sound, they say the second time you get it, it can pretty much give you heart failure instantly due to the medications that they gave you for the first time you had the virus. So that's some things to watch out for right there. And they say this virus can live on surfaces up to 9 days. So that if there's a door handle and the virus is on there, all the people that's touching that handle throughout the day can spread that virus through multiple locations throughout the day. And they say the new incubation period for this virus is from 7 to 14 days to 24 days. You can your body can hold this virus, and all bodies are different. So some bodies may hold it longer, some bodies may hold it shorter. I mean, before you get signs. So we don't know nothing when it comes to that, obviously, because this virus is like unknown. Supposedly it's not a bioweapon. And it says here's a study from Yale University. It says that this virus can mutate in 28 days. So they do studies on this virus, and they're saying that it's mutating in 28 days. So that's pretty high. So how can you find a vaccine for something like that? And it says China plans to build 19 more hospitals in Wuhan. So if the virus is only killed 1,500 people, why would they need 19 more hospitals in Wuhan alone? Not the other cities, that's just Wuhan. And some of these bodies that they're burning aren't even being identified clearly. Some people are just laying dead in the street. They pick them up, put them in body bags, and they take them to cremation and have them burned. They say funerals are banned over there, and they said that there's a possibility that this virus may be aerosolized. And I know you've seen the footage at the beginning of the video where they were spraying the trucks throughout the city, streets and stuff along those lines. You got images of them spraying in office buildings with that white smoke. But if you don't know what aerosolized mean, you don't necessarily have to cough or sneeze or touch somebody to give them the virus. It's just in the air. Like you can flush your toilet and it's up in the air. You can have a soft conversation like I'm having right now, and the spit that you can't see can get in the air and get into your lungs. It can get to you through a gust of wind. So that's definitely something bad. If it's unaerosolized like that, you're gonna want to get UV lights and stuff like that for your home, or UV air filtration systems and stuff like that, so you can definitely kill that stuff in the air in your home. So they say the R0 level of this virus is now a 4.1 to a 4.8. Now I've heard 3.8, 4.1. I'm just giving you what I found, 4.1 to 4.8. If you don't know what R0 level for a virus is, let's just say if I have the coronavirus and I step into a room with 10 people, 4 or 5 people may catch that virus. catch the virus, and that's a pandemic right there. Because a regular flu, I believe, is R naught of 1.5 or something like that along those lines. So something like that high, 4.8. Yeah, that's something to be really worried about. So I would definitely take the proper steps to prepare my family. Like I said, if you haven't seen my other YouTube channel where I do reviews on gear and stuff along those lines, I've actually have some coronavirus videos on how you can better protect yourself from the virus. I'll be putting up another one after this video. But the name of that channel is Eclipse Entertainment Presents. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen so you guys can go ahead and check that out and see if any of that stuff up there can help you along the lines when it comes to this virus. And my last thing about this virus to talk about, it says that this virus affects certain races more than others. For as of right now, from what I found, they said this the coronavirus affects the Asiatic race more than it affects the Caucasian race. So I mean, that sounds like a bioweapon in my opinion, if it's acting like that in my opinion. But let's not just throw America off the meat hook just yet. I mean, we are an unhealthy population, so if this thing is to hit us, obviously the smokers are going to get hit pretty bad. I know China's diet is a lot different from our diet out here. So I think our immune systems can be crippled by this virus if we do capture it. So let's just take the proper precautions and protect our well-beings in our homes and our families. Let's keep our hands clean, and let's just try to stay out of populated areas, and let's pay attention to what's going on in the world, and let's do some of our own research. Let's not just watch videos like mine or other videos. Let's actually get online and start doing research for ourselves so we can get a better understanding and knowledge on what's going on in the world when it comes to this virus. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching Conspiracy Network, where I put the pieces of the puzzle together for you, the viewers, so you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on in the world. Thanks for watching.
Coughing, and then the lights go out. Like they're dying immediately. It's some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen. And it just speaks to the nature of a bioweapon. And I guess the question is, was it released on purpose or did it leak out by accident?